Today I want to talk to you about Her Companion, of course. Just a couple of significant bits, but little changes we've made recently regarding management grouping and bulk milk data, and a general overview of what the bulk milk stuff looks like as well. So please do ask questions as we go through if you would like to in the Q&A. There's a Q&A on this one because it's a proper webinar, or you can use the chat function if you don't mind everybody else seeing what you're writing. Absolutely fine. So let's go for it if we have a look at Herd Companion. Now the refresher bit I wanted to show you is the MQM, the payment test results over here, which appear on the landing page. So once you've logged in and chosen a herd, this is what you see. And this is changing every day. So this is bulk milk, results from NML, from payment tests. So whenever the milk is collected, we take a sample. It's then kept in the fridge for 7 days. So if there are any subsequent tests or that you want to do or order, maybe for a client, something like that, you can give us a ring and the sample will be there over the last 7 days to grab and test it for whatever you need to. We've got cells, protein and fat on here, current or latest sample, one before that, and there's your back to scan. And if I click on that graphic, and not a lot of people know this because I did this the other day and to a whole group of people, and they were completely amazed this was possible. So you can click on that graphic and then it will show you all the results going further back, potentially for a whole year. We have a nice graph with this as well. So just for a visual picture on what the bulk, so still bulk here, bulk cells have been doing. Got a bit of a gap on this one, not quite sure why, but it gives an idea of the cell count, and then you can plot over the top the back to scan to see if there's any correlation there maybe. Have a look at protein, or you can switch off the other ones and change them that way. The other important thing about this, if I go back to the landing page, so the logo top left changes it back a step. You don't have to go back incidentally to then move on, but just to iterate this point, the payment test results are available to any dairy farmer that's tested through NML. So if they don't milk record with NMR, we can still create a Herd Companion account, and then you've got some data at least to look at from a vet perspective. Particularly, feeding. Again, talking to a group of people the other day, they got very excited at this point because they could at least get some data for that farm, something better than nothing. So this bulk milk is available to most farms out there. So the farmer has to grant permissions for any third party. That's always been the case, and that's done through Herd Companion. Up in the settings, my organisation, and then third parties. But they can give us a call if they haven't seen Herd Companion. We can get them set up with an account, and then we can link their producer number details with the Herd Companion, and this result will appear straight away. So I just wanted to make that point really clearly because there's, say, some people out there weren't aware of that one. So that's our milk quality monitor, and related to all of that, maybe we might be doing some extra bulk testing over and above the standards here. In the disease menu, we can go straight down to here, bulk milk surveillance, all results. So this will show, when she loads, all the results that we've got for this bulk milk sample for all of these diseases. So any one of these are possible, or a combination of all of them. And you can see for this herd, again, this is Hartpury University, who we use for demonstration purposes. So they very kindly let us use their data. They've been testing for a few things, so we can see the levels here, and if you've got a busy graph, you'll see if I hover the mouse over, it will bring up the individual points and values for those tests. You can actually switch them off, so if we wanted to hide that one out the way, there we go, then we get a better scale idea, don't we? So if I move maybe that one and that one, we can just have a look at what's going on for a bit of the IBR, Neospora and Salmonella. So they're all perfectly possible on a bulk. The change that we've made just recently, you might not even notice, but it's just the allocation of results here, this is now set to the last 5 whenever they occurred. So before we were doing it from a quarterly perspective, which if people missed a quarter for whatever reason, it then caused a bit of confusion on the table, I think. So we've just listed it. So you've got the last 5 tests, however long that duration is, it gives you an idea of trend. And then you can expand on each of these headings as well with the actual results. So it's all in there, and there's a nice disease report here concentrating on the one disease at a time. Let's have a look at Neospora. There we go. And then all the test results, you know, these are reports that you can download, so we've got a PDF for each of the results on here as well. Excellent. Okay, so that's your bulk. So yeah, today won't take very long because, as I say, there's just a couple of minor changes. But the other fairly significant one, particularly for farmers, if we go into iReports and we go to latest completed lactations. Now this report has been here for a long time, but we have made a significant change. So it's a really good report for seeing, you know, what's happened to all the lactations that have been completed, particularly if it's a block calving herd. They're looking to make breeding decisions after that lactation is done. We'll have a nice summary with all the different values on here, fat and protein combined, what the average sales have been like, and really useful for herd competitions as well. So if you, particularly for our field staff internally, if they have to find all the results and allocate them, then we've got a nice report here that will do that for you quite quickly. So a couple of features you might not even be aware of. Show extra columns. This bit up here, what does that actually mean? Well, what it says really, if I click on there, there are some extra columns to be obtained, and we can pick these up and drag them into the table. And conversely, we can make the table shorter, so take something from here and pop it into there. Any change like this is temporary, so it will revert back to its original state when you've finished that day. So for example, if I didn't need ear tag, I could just pick up the heading, drop it into there, and now I've got less data. And the one I wanted to show you, which is what this management group thing is all about, is this one here. GRP is group. Now this wasn't there until recently. Now, in the interest of doing a nice demo, we haven't got management groups on this herd, but I did want to show you the fact that you can. So if you have management groups within the herd, so it could be highs and lows, NMR can set these. If you haven't got them allocated already, we can do that on Thor, and then you'll see in here very simply group 1, group 2, and so on. But that grouping is available in a lot of places now, and what you can then do, now I can illustrate it but it's not a terribly good example, but you can group by group, if that makes sense. So if I lift this one up again and pop it into here, drag a column header here, yeah, so there's my grouping. As I say, not terribly exciting, but you get the gist. You've got how many animals are in group 0 and their averages, how many animals are in group 1, just the one, and the average of that, and then the overall herd average as well. So if you've got a herd where you know management groups is a really big thing, and they can be grouped on any combination of, you know, reasons, you can then get some real powerful stuff on how each group is performing in here. And not just in here as well, but that's one of the places that it appears. If I go to latest recording, I've got it in there already. That was already there actually, but again, same idea for the latest recording. How well are my groups performing? Fat, protein, cells and milk yield. A couple of other places where it appears is in the disease monitor again, and herd-wise over here. There we go, got there. So herd-wise, again, this has been here for a while. Our summary of what the tests are looking like for the whole herd. Nice trend graph here. What proportion of the herd are in each J bracket. So your latest breakdown for the last test. Now this looks to be all jumbled up, but with these types of graphs, again, they are a little bit interactive, so you can hide that out of the way, maybe get rid of the orange, and then just concentrate on, yeah, still can't see, let's move the other orange one, there we go. So we're just left with maybe a couple of areas. So yeah, looking all very healthy and green. We've got J0s, 99% of the herd is fine, and there's one J1. Look at that, that's brilliant, isn't it? And looking at previous times, we've really improved here, and J5s have pretty much been eradicated. So if we go down to the herd details, there's all the results there. You might notice, incidentally, there's a J5 up here, but she does not appear in the table, and that is because she has gone. So since that test date, back in June, we have culled that animal, so it's no longer appearing in the list of results on this table. If you do need to see dead sold animals for herd-wise, you can do that. So Herd Companion is all about, you know, who's here right now, very much live animal database, but with the exception of herd-wise, all of the historic results are in here for every animal that was ever tested. So it's one way of viewing you know, historic animals in the herd. So it just gives you an idea of trend again, test dates, and there it is. So anything with an X is a sold animal or dead, but you've got all of the history there for the whole herd. Should you need it, really, and you could filter out then and just look at live animals with an L in the filter box. So don't forget about these as well. These little white boxes that appear in places, those are filters. Just to illustrate that point, if I type an L in there, capital or lowercase, doesn't matter, that will then filter out by itself all of the live animals. You'll see a lot of these, this is going back in time to, you know, when they first started, so you may not see a lot of results that far ago. You can export this table though and have a real good route around in Excel or as a PDF. You know, you can take it out of Herd Companion and then play with it elsewhere. So that's your historic results. If I go back to my overview, which is the whole point of this bit, back into here. So again, Field Chooser, slightly different name, but same purpose. Bring that little box up here, and there's my group again. So I can drag that one into my table. Got some other groups for some reason this time, not quite sure where 21's come from, but anyway, same idea. So filtering everybody in group 1, we know that's one cow. There she is. Or backspace, take that out again, back to the whole herd, and you just have to stop typing for it to refresh, and then again I can group by that particular heading, and it gives me a breakdown of my management groups. So like so. So there's quite a few places where this group now appears, and this is a really good one because very often we're looking at, you know, maybe just 2 management groups within the herd, but Yonis is a classic element that we want to focus on, and we can then see, you know, which of my high groups or high cows, if you like, are, you know, presenting those Yonis high results really. So it's a really interesting one. And then just to show you, we drag that one back into there, let go, and you don't have to pop it back in where it came from. You can drop it anywhere in the table, or you can leave it alone, grouped by, and then close your computer down. Next time you come in, as I say, it will all put itself back together again.